Hi teacher, I'm Camila Gonzalez and my partner is Laura Mercado. Today we're going to talk about the testing. First question is, what tests are done during the semester of the school years? So, at various stages during the term of the semester, we may give the student progress tests, for example. These have the function of saying how students are getting on with the lesson and how well they have assimilated what they have been taught over the last week, 2 week, or a month. So at the end of the third semester year, we may want to do a final achievement test, sometimes called the ESI test, to see how well students have learned everything.
Next question. What are the reasons for testing students? At various stages during their learning, students may need or want to be tested on their ability in the English language. If they arrive at a school and need to be put in a class at an appropriate level, they may do a placement test. This often takes the form of a number of this grade. Items coupled with an oral interview and a purpose of a longer piece of writing. The purpose of the test is to find out not only what students know, but also what they don't know. As a result, they can be placed in an appropriate class.
Next question is, what kind of public tests are there? For example, many students enter for a public examination, such as those offered by the University of Cambridge, EXOL, Pigman, or Trinity College in the UK, and in the US at the University of Michigan, and TOAFI or TOFIC. These provinces tests are designed to show what level of the students as research and any one time, and are used by employers and universities, for example, who want to reliable measure of a student language ability.
What we have to take into account when we designing tests. When designing tests, one of the things we have to take into account is the practicality of the test. We need to work out how long it will take both to see the test and also to mark it. The test will be worthless if it is so long that no one else has the time to do it. In the same way, we have to think on the physical constraints of the test situation. Some speaking tests, especially for international exams, ask not only for an examiner but also for an interlocutor, someone who participates in a conversation with the student. But this is clearly not practical for teachers working on their own.
How is a continuous evaluation? These sudden death events where the ability is measured at a particular point in time, so are very different for the continuous assessment where the student progress is measured as is at happening where the measures of the students achievement is the work done all through the learning period and not just on the end. So one form of continuous assessment is the language portfolio, where the students collect examples their work over time so that this piece of work cannot be taken into account when an evaluation is made of their language progress and achievement.
How are reading and listening tests? Some reading and writing test items look a bit like indirect items. when students are given multiple choice questions about a particular word in a test, for example, or have to answer TF questions about a particular sentence. But another times we might ask students to choose the best summary of what they have heard or read. We might ask them to put a set of pictures in order as they read or listen a story, or complete a phone message for a listening test, or fill out a summary form, or things like that. Many reading and listening tests are a blend of direct and indirect testing. We can ask students direct language or test focused questions as well as testing their global understanding.
The next question is, how is a good text? A good text is valued. A good text is valued. This means that it does what it say it will. So a good text should have marking reliability. Not only should it feel fairly easy to mark, but anyone marking it should come out with the same results as someone else. The tests have a marked washback, back, backwash effect, whether they are public tests or institution design progress or achieve tests. We need to remember that the tests have a powerful effect on the student's motivation.
What is the most important when designing tests? When we grade tests for our classes, we need to bear in mind the characteristics of good tests. We will think very carefully about how practical our test will be in terms of time, including how long it will take us to mark them. When writing process tests, it's important to try to work out what we want to achieve, especially since the student results of progress tests will have an immediate effect to their motivation. As a consequence, we need to think about how difficult we want the test to be. It is designed so that only the best students will pass, or should everyone get a good grade? Some test designers, especially for public exams, appears to have an idea of how many students should get a high grade, what percent of examiners should pass satisfactorily, and what an acceptable failing percent should look like.